because let me tell you something. This team, we just had a very interesting press conference today. Robert Saleh introductory press conference. Boy, oh boy, it was a fiery one. I loved a lot of the things that he said, a lot of the things that, he was talking about bringing to the table. So we're going to get into it. Listen, if you want to call in, it's area code 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. Hope everyone's in. I hope everyone's having a great day as well. You know what I'm saying? Lot to talk about, lot to go on. Boy, oh boy. Saleh's bringing it to the table. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. Please call in. Call in today. You can call in right now. The lines is open. Everybody, you can call in. The lines are open right now. And we're going to start the show at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's in a couple seconds. In a couple seconds, folks. I'm telling you. We about to get to it. For real, for real. This is going to be a good one. 515-602-9639. Don't forget. Because we are about to go in. One second, folks. Make sure everybody knows that we are out and about. All right. I'm going to mute this in a second, and I'll be right back, folks. Hold on.
Blog Talk Radio.
What's going on, people? What is going on? It is your boy, Long Beach Joe. And let me tell you something. We are fired up, okay? I know I'm fired up. Listen, we just got done listening to Robert Saleh come in for his introductory press conference, and there's a lot to talk about. This man, I'm telling you, when you hear him talk, when you listen to this guy, you can see why everyone loves him, why everyone is talking about how great of a hire he was for us. This is amazing. It was absolutely amazing. There was a lot of knowledge dropped as well about the ongoings of the franchise going forward. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Listen, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. So without further ado, folks, go ahead and get into the show. I am fired up. I'm fired up. You can also, follow me on my YouTube page as well. The Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on the YouTube. I'm also on iTunes as well at The Long Beach Joe Show. You can follow me across, my social media platforms. All that stuff is there. If you go to Long Beach Joe Jets, you can catch my live streams there as well, too. And again, Long Beach Joe Show is on the iTunes. Please go there and leave me some ratings. You know what I'm saying? Just to put that out there. But let me tell you something. Robert Saleh today, when he stepped in and they had that press conference, I was fired up, dude. I was fired up. It's a different time. It's a different time, people. It's a different time. It's a different time. It's a different time. Can you hear that? It's a different time. It's a different time. It's a different time. Stepped in with the saying. His mantra is all gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. Let me break that down to some of y'all. Because I know there's a lot of people that are a little concerned about, or a little confused, about what that means, right? I don't know if everyone else knows about it, but it's very big on the West Coast to talk about all gas, no brakes. What that means is you go to the wall. You go 100% to the wall every time. You play fast, you play hard, whatever it is, you do it all the way, 100%. You don't do it halfway. You don't stop when things are going bad. No, you keep pushing. Why is that important for us? Because guess what? There's going to be times, right? There's going to be times in games where things may not be going our way. Things may not be looking as good as they should be. Some things may happen that we haven't game planned for, but guess what? Guess what? If you continue to go all gas, no brakes, you'll be able to pull yourself out of those situations. He also talked about the mantra of no gas, no brakes doesn't just mean, just what happens on the field. No, it's also about the process that leads up to the result of the field, what goes on the field, right? It's what you do. It's how hard you're working out. It's your preparation. It's your film study. It's you doing whatever it takes to make sure that you get a W that week. Whatever it takes. Putting yourself in the best position every day to line yourself up with being a winner. That's what no gas, no brakes means. Again, that's big on the West Coast. Big. Big on the West Coast. All gas, no brakes. You don't stop. You don't ever stop. You keep pushing. You don't ever let anything go by. Nothing. All of it, every time. You have to want it every time. All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. You don't ever stop. I love that saying, and I love that he's brought that mantra to the Jets. Another thing that he talked about as well, when a guy asked him, well, why do players want to play for you? That's what we hear around the league. He talked about investing in players. And I thought that was huge. Because guess what? To reach young players, you have to make them feel like you care about them. That's what he talked about as well. We understand it's a business side to the game. That is what it is. But it's not just about that. You invest in young players. You have them buy in. They invest in you. And then it becomes personal. It becomes to where players trust you. And they trust that you're going to put them in the best position to make plays and also earn more money. And then everybody else buys in as well. That is huge. And when I was talking to fans about that, I was telling them, listen, the reason why it's big is because we just came from a place where we had a head coach that could not get players to buy in. We just came from a place where you had players on the team that weren't necessarily bought in, that weren't necessarily sold on what was going on. We just came from that place. And we saw what happened with that football team. We saw the divide. We saw the issues that we had with players. We saw that we couldn't keep guys aligned, couldn't keep their minds in the game, couldn't keep their minds with what was going on. We saw that. Guys like Jamal Adams and Robbie Anderson talking about he didn't want to be here. We saw issues with Le'Veon. We saw all that stuff. And we saw the poor output on the field. We saw that. He's coming in here saying that is not the way you do business. The way you do business is invest, have these guys buy in, you buy into them, and you guys fight together. That is huge, man. That is so, so huge. But another thing that he spoke about as well, and I'll get to the callers. I know we got quite a bit of callers. I'm going to just take a couple seconds. Another thing he talked about as well that was a little bit shocking was when they asked him if he was going to call, make the defensive calls, he said he wasn't. He was bringing in Jeff Albridge. That's the guy that's going to make the defensive calls. That's going to be our defensive coordinator. But he's not going to call the plays. So he's going to sit back. He's going to be that CEO guy that overlooks everybody, makes sure guys are doing what they need to do while he allows his coordinators to handle their business. And there's a lot of big time coaches in the league that do that. So I don't mind that as well. I do have a feeling though that if things go awry or things are not going as well as they should be on defense, I'm pretty sure he's going to step in. But for now, he's allowing Jeff Albridge to call his thing and do his thing out there. Another thing that they spoke about as well in the press conference was Sam. That was everybody's big question. Well, what is going on with Sam? How are you going to make it happen with him? What are you going to do going forward with Sam Darnold? And he said, listen, they asked him if he would commit to Sam Darnold being the starting quarterback next year. And he said, hey, look, there's a lot of things that we need to look over. There's a lot of things we need to dissect, decisions that need to be made going forward. I'm not going to say that, but I will say that when we prepared for Sam Darnold, because he was the defensive coordinator for the Niners, when they played us and they were preparing for him, they said this kid's got talent. He's got a strong arm. He's fearless. He can go out there and really make plays. But they just weren't necessarily committed to calling him the starting quarterback next year. And I'm not necessarily, I'm not knocking that. Because again, in my mind, you don't want to tip your hand. It was so professional. Everything that he did was so professional, so clean. You don't want to tip your hand. You don't want to tell the media and the fan base, yeah, sure, Sam Darnold's coming back next year. Then a team that's looking at that second pick is going, oh, okay, so we ain't got to offer you as much. Because guess what? We all know that Sam Darnold's going to be your starting quarterback. You ain't going to take Justin Fields. You ain't going to take, maybe some people would think we take Zach Wilson. You ain't going to take him. So we'll toss you a third. And if you don't take it, well, then you're going to be stuck. What are you going to do? No, he left all the options open, all the doors open, every single one. And he said, listen, I'm not going to commit to it. We'll make the decisions, when we need to make them. But hey, I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's got some talent. That was huge as well. That was very huge. But one of the hugest things to come out of this press conference was the organizational structure has changed. It's changed, ladies and gentlemen. It's changed. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the organizational structure has changed. Oh, just clap it. Thank you. Clap it up. Finally, the Johnsons have realized, finally, that what we've been doing in the past does not work for us. It doesn't. It absolutely does not. And they have made a change. Now, Saleh will report to Joe Douglas, and Joe Douglas will now report to the Johnsons. No more two guys on equal footing. That time is over. And that's big. Because in the past, we've seen that one of the main reasons why the Jets have been so bad during my fandom and even sometime before was because our organizational structure was horrific. It was all over the damn place. Look at what recently just happened with Adam Gase and Mike McCagnon. Come on. You had two guys reporting to the owner. Adam Gase is, talking to the Johnsons. He's talking to Chris Johnson, convinces Chris Johnson to fire Mike McCagnon after a draft and free agency. That's insane. That's completely insane. Saleh also talked about the personnel decisions to be made in the future, right? Because you would think, hey, how much say are you going to have? Joe Douglas has the final say, but they will collab. They will collab on personnel decisions. He'll definitely be heard. They'll have discussions. They'll figure things out together. But Joe Douglas has full control of the roster, and he has the final say. That's huge. Because if you look what Joe Douglas has been able to do just in his drafts, he's been putting together pieces to build this football team going forward. Mekhi Becton, Mims, Ashton Davis. Those are just some of the guys he got in the recent draft to help change this football team around, to change the face of this team. Change the face of his team, and he's got the final say. But they'll sit down and collab. They'll absolutely sit down and collab. There's so much good things going on here, folks. And after this press conference, especially when they talk about Woody coming back, Chris Johnson's going to be the vice chairman. Woody's going to go back to being the chairman. He's going to make a lot of the final decisions for the franchise from that standpoint. It seems like the Jets are headed in the right direction again. Like we finally have put the nonsense behind us. All the clown nonsense, all the drama that used to be going on, just stupid stuff. Just stupid. Everybody's just acting stupid. I mean, just so much dumb stuff that used to go on with our organization. We're putting that in the past. We're not going to be that anymore. We're not going to be the clown organization anymore. We're going to move forward. We're going to better ourselves, and we're going to put ourselves in a position to be winners. That's what I got from this press conference. That we've got the right guy, we've got the right system, And we've got people in the building that understand football that are ready to move forward. And I'm hyped about it. I'm absolutely hyped. I'm telling you, it's a different time. It's a different time. So I'm going to get to the phones now. Everybody, if you're listening to me, no matter where you are listening to me from, I live stream during my broadcast as well. For if you're listening to me on Blog Talk Radio, Long Beach Joe Jets is the YouTube page. But I also talk to my guys in the chat. I call them the Savages. Okay? My guys in the chat are called the Savages. Why? Because they're savage. Nobody's safe. Nobody. Not even me. Not even me. They bring the fire to everyone. Every single person. Nobody is safe. Anybody can get it at any time. A bad take, they'll bring it straight to you. Straight to you. With no issues. If you want to call in, 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. The lines are open. Please be patient. I got callers. I'll get to everybody. I know some people call in. All right. I run a different system. I have everyone in a queue. If you call in, just please, you're on hold. Just be on wait. I can see you. Don't call in 1,000 times and hang up, because all that's going to do is put you at the bottom of the queue. Just be patient. Wait, call in. You'll be good on. I guarantee you. Now I'm going to get to these lines. I'm going to go to my guy, Rich. My guy, Rich, is up. Rich, my man, I want to welcome you to the show first and foremost. What are your thoughts on Robert Saleh after this press conference, my man?
Listen, I commented on your Facebook post that saying, all gas, no brakes. Because when he said that, I was like, yes. I felt like going in for a jog myself for no apparent reason, and I'm just a fan. So, but it's great to hear motivational words. His whole speech, I mean, that's what stuck out the most. Mm-hmm. But the other thing that stuck out to me the most afterwards was when he said to the fans, he said, we know that you're the greatest fans in the world, and trust me, our job is to bring you championships.
Yeah.
And I love that. Now, we're going to do our best to one day bring you a championship. We're going to bring maybe a Lombardi trophy one day. Well, championships with an S at the end. And, hey, maybe he delivers on that. Maybe he doesn't. But at least he's letting you know that he's not coming here to fool around, and he's coming here to push everybody. And that's basically why people want to play for him. Because when he was in the 49ers, like you said, they were ravaged by injuries this year. Yep. But yet they still had a top-5 defense. Why? Because he knew how to coach those players, the guys who were on the bench, who were undrafted, who never, got a chance on the field. And he's coming here, and the very first question I love that you covered already, but I just have to say it one time, how is the organizational structure going to be handled, Christopher?
Yeah.
Beautiful. We finally got it right.
Yeah. And again, Rich, you're bringing the fire right now so far, but why is that important though, Rich? Why is it important that the organizational structure changes like it is now, change to what it is right now? Why is that even important?
Well, because as you can see, once we went away from that, when we had that organizational structure before, when Rex Ryan was the coach, and he was reporting to the general manager then, we went to back-to-back AFC championship games. And then we brought in Idzik, and all of a sudden both Idzik and Rex Ryan must report to Woody Johnson because Idzik couldn't even pick his own head coach. We started tumbling, and we've never gotten up since then.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Every other successful team does not have an a structure where, both the GM and the head coach report to the owner. Every team that's successful has the structure that we finally readopted because we had it before, and I don't know why we went away from it.
Now, and just turning, because you're bringing the fire again, Rich, you know exactly what you're talking about. What are your thoughts, what are your takes, on Saleh not committing to Darnold all the way? I know that there's some Jets fans that think, hey, that means he could be out. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with that idea that means that Sam Darnold is said and done?
No, I don't think that he's dead and done. But Robert Robert Saleh said the right thing. He's not going to come out there like Cliff Kingsbury and be like, yeah, Josh Rosen's our guy. And then he goes, oh, until April's draft when Kyler Murray comes up. No, he's going to say what's true, because that's how he's going to gain the confidence from his players. Because if me and you are sitting in a locker room and he sits there and he says, Sam's our guy because this, and this reason, he's going to be our guy come, opening day. And then all of a sudden Sam gets traded or whatever. Those players are going to look at Robert Saleh and say, I can't trust this guy. He just lied to all our faces. So, of course, he has to say what's right. We got to analyze the situation. And if it becomes at the end that Sam Darnold's our guy, we're going to put all of our chips behind Sam Darnold, build around him, and go forward. And if that's not the case, then hopefully they can acquire some pieces for him.
Yeah. Now, my final question for you, Rich, before I let you go, because you're bringing the fire, man. Like I said, you're absolutely lighting it up. What are your thoughts about the fact that Saleh also said that he wouldn't be calling the defensive plays, that he's going to let Jeff Ulbrich go ahead and do his thing? Are you surprised that as a defensive guy, he's not going to be, the guy absolutely pulling the trigger on every single play?
No, I think it's just that he's going to dance with the people that got him here. Because he said it in the press conference. He didn't do this alone. So he has some, strong beliefs in Ulbrich, and he's going to let him do his thing. Now, if it becomes, a problem later on where they're playing defense horribly, then he knows that he's got to pull back the reins and take control. And that's basically it. He's doing team football all the way around, in every aspect. Coaches, players, everywhere. That's what you call a leader. The CEO that we wanted, he just showed you, boom, that's how you do it. You got to come in and give all the people that bought you here a chance.
That's a fact, Rich. That's a fact. Rich, you brought it tonight, man. Listen, I gotta go because I gotta get back to the rest of these callers, man. You have a good night, and I want to thank you for calling in, my friend.
Thank you for having me on, and I just want to say real quick, I want to give a shout-out to Jamal Adams, because thanks to him, we got 2 first-round picks, and he's about to get his favorite head coach back as his offensive coordinator, baby, Adam Gase to the Seahawks. Woohoo! Thank God.
Here we go!
Salute to you, Rich. You have a good night. Listen, Rich calling in with the fire, all right? And listen, salute to Jamal. You about to have your best friend back. You're about to have your best friend back next to you, all right? Listen, I'm going to keep going to these callers again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639. That is the number to call in. Again, when you call in, please be patient, okay? I will get to everybody. You're in a queue. Do not call in and hang up, call in and hang up, call in and hang up, okay? I don't know what other people run their systems, but the way I run my system, you're in a queue. I can see you. I will get to you. If you keep calling in and hanging up, it just puts you at the back of the line every single time. You're wasting your time. Just call in. Hold on, and I'll get to you, every single one of you. And if I don't know your name, I'm going to call your area code out, okay? If you should know your area code. If you know your area code and I'll call your area code out, please understand you need to come to the phone and talk. We need that fire tonight. We need that fire. We are coming fresh, okay, off of an amazing introductory press conference. Come on. Coming off that right now. Come on. Now, nothing but fire from Saleh. A lot of things changing around here, all right? And we're changing things. So now I'm going to go to my guy E, man. My guy E is up next. E, I want to welcome you to the show first and foremost. What are your thoughts? Oh, excuse me, it's not E. This is just another caller. 914, excuse me. I'm coming directly to you. What are your thoughts about the press conference today with Saleh? How are you feeling after watching him speak and talk about how he's, his plan to move and shake within this franchise?
Well, I feel great. It's nice for a change to not see the Jets be the team making a cavalcade of comedic errors in the offseason.
Yeah. I think we've got our guy, but another thing that really made me extremely excited was talking about how the structure has changed within this franchise as well. You look at this situation, the Jets have changed their reporting structure. So now the coach will report to the GM and the GM will report to the owners. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Well, that's good. Obviously, we know that that the previous power structure resulted in the whole situation where Adam Gase was able to force help the GM, which although was probably for the good, for the greater good, and obviously what led to us getting Joe Douglas, but you don't want that to happen in the future. So it's a good change.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is. But another thing that Saleh also talked about as well was investing in players and having them buy in. Do you think that that's the right philosophy to have as a head coach?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, you know, I'm really looking forward to where we're going to be going in the next, especially with this offseason. And I think the days of the Jets tax might be over.
Okay. What are your thoughts about?
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Because, you know, it kind of reminds me of a very similar situation. I'm going to use baseball, for example. When right before the Mets had their press conference with their new owner, there was growing concern that one of their pitchers, I can't remember, Marcus Stroman, wouldn't resign. The moment after the press conference, he immediately resigned with the team. You know, and I feel like that's Saleh's press conference is going to have that same kind of residual effect where people are going to say, oh, no, I'm not going to go to the Jets. Say, you know, the Jets look like a really nice spot to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great point as well. One thing I was going to bring up, too, is, you know, when you look at this situation and you hear a guy, you know, talk about how he wants to communicate to players and how he wants guys to buy in so that, you know, he can buy into them as well. And everybody buys in to what they want to do, the task at hand, you know, so that we all have a singular focus and we're all moving together as a team going towards whatever it is that we need to do to take care of the task. Like you said, that does nothing but bode well. Guys around the league are going to look and be like, man, you know what? The Jets are a good spot now. Guys that wouldn't even think about coming here in the past, free agents, you know, they're looking at this situation and they're going, hey, the Jets might be a place that I want to go now. This is somewhere where I feel like if I go there, I can flourish. My career is still going to be solid there. I'm going to be able to put up great numbers, and I'm also going to be coached by a great head coach. So that was a great point that you made there. Now, my final question for you is, before I let you go, is what are your thoughts about, you know, Sam Darnold? Saleh, you know, when they asked him a question about Sam and committing to him to be the starter, you know, next season, he just kind of said, you know, I'm not committed to that. We still got processes that we have to go through. But he did say some glowing words about him. But the fact that he didn't necessarily commit to him being the starter next year, do you think that that means Sam is on his way out?
No, it could mean anything. You know, it all depends on what's going to happen, you know, what the evaluation. They're basically buttering him up. Either they're buttering him up to build his confidence or buttering up to increase his trade value. We won't know yet. Although with Woody returning, you know, he might want to get something to chase some headlines, sell some tickets, so wouldn't surprise me if he wants to make a move for a quarterback.
Yeah, I hear you there. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. I got to get back to the rest of these callers. You have a good night.
I got a Jets trivia question for you. Who holds the franchise record for interceptions in a season?
Ooh, that's a good question. Go ahead and tell us. I can't even think of it right now. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. I don't know. It might be.
It's a long time ago.
Go ahead.
Nope. It was in 1964. Safety Danyard Paulson had 12.
Whew. Fire! I like that. I like this Jets trivia that you bringing to me. I like this. I like that. Okay. Well, listen, thank you for calling in. Thank you for the trivia. Keep bringing that. All right, I want to hear from you next show. All right, you have a good night, my friend.
All right, thank you.
Go Jets. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we got Jets trivia. People fired up. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. So next, we're going to get to my guy, Steve, in a second. Get to my guy, Steve. Savages, I'll be coming to you in 1 second. But I'm going to get to my guy, Steve, man. Because I want to hear what Steve has to say about this introductory press conference of Robert Saleh. Steve, welcome to the show. What were your thoughts today about what Robert Saleh came in and he said with his mantra about all gas, no brakes? How are you feeling about that?
Well, first of all, Joe, thank you so much for having me on the show tonight. You know, before I got to tell you something right now. I remembered a couple of years ago when Adam Gase first became our head coach, and I just remember during that press conference how he looked so dazed and confused. Well, especially with the look of his eyes, of course. But a couple of years later, going fast forward now in 2021, that press conference was so impressive. Like, the way how he spoke about, like, how he wants to build this team in the right direction, I thought was absolutely phenomenal. And I give credit to Joe Douglas of what he did with this hire. This hire was absolutely phenomenal. And that catchphrase that now that he has, all gas goes or whatever what it is.
All gas, no brakes.
I all gas, no brakes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, and that's gonna be a new T-shirt coming out soon. Okay, that's gonna be a T-shirt that's gonna be selling out in Jets Nation. But let me just tell you something. The whole press conference was just so incredible. Like, how could you not be excited about this guy? Robert Saleh, I know, is definitely going to do this change in this franchise. Now, I remember saying on the show that I wanted Arthur Smith. I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something right now. I'm very happy with this hire. I think Robert Saleh is going to do a lot of great things for this team for the future. But now, obviously, in a couple of questions, you know, what we're going to see, you know, there's still going to be some questions that need to be answered, like, what's going to happen with Sam? Are they going to do the thing with Deshaun Watson? Like, or are they going to, or do they trade Sam and take a quarterback at the second overall pick? Just don't know what time is going to tell.
Yeah, and that's a great take, Steve, and that's what I got from, you know, when they spoke about Sam and they talked about how, you know, he wasn't necessarily, again, committed to making Sam, you know, the starter. He's not going to say that. He did say that they were going through processes. So I do think that, you know, they just wanted to make it sure that even if they've already made the decision, they want to make sure that they make it appear that they have not made a decision yet on Sam Darnold, which is smart. It's absolutely smart for what they're doing. You don't want to tip your hand. You want to make sure that people keep wondering, hey, what are they going to do with that second pick in the draft? Are they going to take a quarterback? Are they going to trade down? If I want a quarterback and they're, you know, if I want Justin Fields, I better offer them what they want, because otherwise they're going to take him. So that does nothing but bode well for us in our draft decisions, you know, to see how we're going to go forward. But Steve, one of the big things that came out of the press conference as well is Joe Douglas, you know, being talked about how he has the final say on personnel moves. What are your thoughts about that, my friend?
No, here is the thing, and I'm kind of glad now, because Christopher Johnson finally realized how a big mistake he made. I even remember going back a few weeks ago, you know, at his end of the year conference call, how so fed up and angry and pissed off he was after that 2-14 season and letting Adam Gase go. He finally realized that hiring Adam Gase was not the right decision. But you know something? Woody is now going to be coming back, you know, because of what recently happened a few days ago, because of the whole thing of what's happening in the United States now. But, you know, the thing is, I think it's phenomenal. Like, Robert, this is honestly something that should have happened a very long time ago. Mm-hmm. Here is the thing right now that I'm going to say this. You know, because everybody was all talking about the thing with the Deshaun Watson thing. And here is my thing about him. Listen, I think Deshaun Watson is a phenomenal player. I have nothing against him. I think he has done phenomenal ever since he was drafted out of 2017 by the Texans. However, though, here's an issue with Deshaun Watson of trading him, and this is why I wouldn't do it. Number one, I think he's way too expensive to have. And the reason is that, and if we get him in a trade, the Texans are going to want a lot back. From what I'm hearing, they want 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson.
Well, that's just a starting point. That's just a starting point, though, Steve. That's not going to be the ending. But you're talking. Go ahead. You're talking that talk.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, for you Jet fans that are listening out there, it's just the thing of how I look at this is I would, as of right now, keep Sam Darnold. I would keep him, and I would. If I was Joe Douglas, I would make this statement now, as we get closer to the off season. If there is any team that needs a quarterback, and if any team is opening up the trade for us for the second pick and for us to trade down, I would personally do that. Because if we try to do that, we could try to build through a draft. And I don't think Joe Douglas is going to do the thing with Deshaun Watson. I mean, I would get Deshaun Watson if it's a good deal. But I don't want to give up too much. And the reason I say this is because I think there is a lot of talent in this draft class coming up this year in 2021. But listen, if you Jet fans want to talk to me about it, if you have any disagreements with me about it, that's totally fine. I have no problem talking to you guys about it. But we'll see what Joe Douglas does. And I think Joe Douglas is a type of a guy that wants to build through a draft. If you saw what he did last year in the draft, not like what Mike McCagnon couldn't do, you have to build through your draft to be a good football team.
Whew, Steve. Listen, Steve, nothing but respect to you. That was a heck of a call, man. That was a heck of a call. Steve brought it. Steve absolutely brought it. I mean, nothing but fire. I'm sitting back, man.
Hey.
Salute, Steve. Steve, you brought nothing but fire tonight, man.
Joe,
go ahead. I'm going to let you go ahead.
Joe, hang on, listen. I don't know if I got the bigger applause tonight or Robert Saleh in his press conference today.
Yeah, Robert Saleh. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Steve, I got to get back to the rest of these calls, man. You have a good night.
You too, man. Good night.
All right. Listen, Steve called in with the fire. We can talk a little Deshaun Watson tonight. I know people want to talk about him too, but Steve says, hey, it's too rich for my blood, too expensive. I'm not having it. I'm not interested in trading for Deshaun Watson. I want to hear everybody's take on this. I do. I understand people are talking about 3 first-round picks. Listen, that's just the starter pack. That's just to get you to the table. That doesn't mean they'll actually trade him for just 3 first-round picks. I don't think they will. But I want to hear everybody's take on that tonight as well. We talking about Saleh. We talking about the press conference. We talking a little Deshaun Watson rumors. Talking Joe Douglas. We're talking Jets, man. We're talking Jets. I love this. I love this. So now I'm going back. I'm getting back to the callers, man. My guys in the chat, Savages, I'll get to you in a second. I got to get to my guy from North Carolina, man. I got to get to him. You already know how we do. You know what I mean? This guy calls in. He's a heck of a Jet fan. He knows what he's talking about. And we get into it every single time.
Here we go.
And you already know it's coming. Here we go. First off, I want to welcome you to the show, my friend. It's always good to speak to you. Give me your thoughts on Robert Saleh's motto of all gas, no brakes.
It's a great motto. It's a formula for maximum effort, and he represents my spirit because I'm a pretty intense individual. So he's the perfect coach for us. And it's so great to get through to talk to. We ain't talked in a couple of weeks, so I can get into Saleh, Watson, and, of course, Sam Darnold to close out. Obviously, first, Saleh. Saleh was the coach that I wish we could have brought in after we fired Rex Ryan. God knows I'm a Rex Ryan guy. I was heartbroken over that. That was one of the most sad moments. Because Rex, we knew he cared, unlike Gates. I mean, yeah, he had his little ego too, but we didn't question his sincerity and his love for his players and love for the Jets and wanted to, turn this thing around and bring us that championship. That was the true tragedy in our history that we had to fire Rex Ryan. That was a sad day. I wish we could have brought in a Robert Saleh then. But I guess it's a situation is destiny. The time is right for Robert Saleh. Somebody settle us down, help bring credibility to us, just like Joe Douglas. And even, guess what? The owners are coming to their senses. They're tired. They're tired of losing, being bottom of the barrel. They're seeing the handwriting on the wall with the Buffalo Bills. They're powerful again. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to reckon with them. We're going to have to get our act together in a hurry. And also, on the Deshaun Watson situation, I had a chance to revisit, thank God for YouTube. You can see the clips. I mean, he is fantastic. Yeah. He really reminds me how good he is. But the price tag is too high. 3 first-round picks just as a foundation for discussing a potential big deal, then you might have to give up 2s and 3s. That's too much. If this was the 1985, 1986 Jets, it might be a little before your time, or the 2009, 2010 Jets, yes, I've been willing to give up such a package because the teams were ready to win. They were ready to make a run for everything. But the current state of the Jets, no. They have too much rebuilding to do. They need offensive line help. They need more weapons on offense. The defense needs an edge rusher, cornerback. We need linebackers now. The linebacker group we have is not the same group we had under Rex Ryan. We don't have a Calvin Payson. I know C.J. Moses is a stud, but we don't know what he has left. He's been away for a while. And, of course, Sam Darnold.
Well, hold on. Before we get to Sam, you're bringing the fire right now. I want to play devil's advocate. That's what I want to do. I want to play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
I'm just going to challenge your point from the other side.
Sure.
I hear what you're saying about Deshaun Watson. You know, he's going to cost a lot. 3 first-round picks, that is a lot. But the Jets do have 4 first-round picks. You know, they have 2 this year, 2 next year.
Yeah.
So that's 4 first-round picks. Why can't we just give up, you know, both of Seattle's picks and the number 2 pick to, you know, this year and just go ahead and get him? Why not?
You know what?
Why can't we do that? Can somebody tell me why we can't do that?
First-round picks in 2 years. Now, I'm going to tell you what.
Okay.
If we could have front-loaded the deal with the 4 first-round picks and just give it to them and they don't ask for nothing else, yes, I could do it if I can keep my other picks. You know what I'm saying? But then they take 3 out of the 4 first-round picks and then they ask for second-round picks and 4th round. That's a lot.
Okay.
That's kind of steep. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Watson isn't worth it. He's a great, great talent. They say this young man is an excellent guy. He's a great person, too. They say he's a stand-up guy. He's a wonderful person. He's everything we want, just like Donald is. But his production is off the chain. He's a top 5 Q. I'm not saying he's not worth it, but man, that's kind of steep.
Yeah.
You know, if we were the Dolphins, if we were in the condition the Dolphins were in, yes. If this was the 2009 and 10 Jets on the Rex Ryan, where all we needed was a Deshaun Watson, you know, to take that next leap and probably go on and go to the Super Bowl, yes, I would have made the deal. I've been willing to make that sacrifice because that's like a missing piece, you know, for us. Besides the edge rusher, of course, the quarterback, I would have done it. But looking at the current state of this team, the needs we have, no, I can't do it. I'm uncomfortable doing it. I'm not saying they might not still strike a deal and I wouldn't celebrate. Yes, I would celebrate. You know, you could play Cool in the Game celebration. I have it playing in my house, confetti falling. I'd be happy. I'm not going to lie to you. And I'll be acting the fool. That break dance, I'll be like my man, Coming to America. I feel like break dancing. And I can't dance. I'll be happy. But, you know, if it's up to me, no.
Okay.
I stick with Donald, give him another shot. We got a new offense in here and see can he adapt. And if this is more tailored to his skill set, give him another chance. And I believe under this new coach, that'll breathe life into Donald. I don't think he wanted to play for Gay Seaver, but he just didn't want to rock the boat. He's a stand-up guy. Yeah. I remember stories when he go to Gates' office when he wasn't comfortable. You know, Donald, he's not like Adams, where Adams would speak his mind. Donald would try to hold stuff in. I think he wasn't comfortable, but he couldn't say nothing. He tried to be a stand-up guy and be a class act. And I know he happy. I don't know what. There's Saleh there. And we're waiting to hear from him. We will hear from Donald at some point. He's happy, and Quentin Williams, all of them are happy. And I'm happy for him, too. Yeah. And I think he can turn it around.
Yeah,
and before
absolutely.
I
go ahead.
I recommend, I don't know if you got a pencil or pen to write this down. It's called the Draft Network. There's a video I stumbled on. I downloaded. It's called Hear Me Out. It's a series. You're going to see it. It's wonderful. It got great visual effects. It's called How Sam Darnold and the Jets won the Super Bowl. This video is on the cover. When you see it, it's going to have Hear Me Out on the side and Darnold holding up the Super Bowl trophy with his cap and the Lombardi trophy where it's still black and green confetti. It looked real with him holding up the trophy. And it narrates the story. It tells a story. It's got great visuals. This video is wonderful. It's wonderfully put together. It's beautiful. It would inspire you. It inspired me. I said, no, we can't give up on this guy. We can't, not now. At least one more year. You know what I'm saying? That video turned me around. It's called How Sam Darnold and the Jets Won a Super Bowl. You can see it on YouTube. I recommend you check it out. And the next time we talk, you'll let me know what you think of it.
Ooh, listen. Listen, I'm all for it. We there's other things we got to do. There's definitely, quite a bit. There's free agency. The draft is coming up, moves we got to make, but we'll see if the Jets can get there, man. We'll see if they can get there. But listen, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You brought the fire. You have a good night, my friend.
And you too, and thank you for taking my call as always. You're wonderful to talk to, and I always join you. And as I hang up, I'm going to listen in. And you take care. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, thank you so much. You have a good night. Listen, my guy from North Carolina, he knows what he's talking about, man. He knows what he's talking about. All right, you know, our people are fired up. We've got to see what the Jets can do. There's a lot of decisions to be made, but Saleh in this press conference day, dude, it just you watch it and it just shows, man. He's got it. You can see that he gets it. How easily he conveys his message, the way he orates football, the way he talks about that. You can see that the fire is there. And even with some of the hires, I talked about Greg Knapp. You know, he's bringing in Jeff Albridge. There's also defensive line coach is Eric Whitecotton now, the assistant defensive line coach, Nate Ollie, Chip Vaughn, Ricky Manning Jr. they brought in as defensive assistant. Hayes Pullard they brought in as defensive assistant. They're just filling things out. We know we got Mike LaFleur coming in as our offensive coordinator. You know, we got Benton coming in as our O-line coach, our run coordinator. Greg Knapp is our QB coach. That's a guy that has worked with various quarterbacks across the league and some solid names. Steve Young, Peyton Manning, Mike Vick, Matt Ryan, and these guys had successful seasons with him as their QB coach. Maybe he's the guy that can turn Sam Darnold around. And if he's not here to turn Sam Darnold around, if they move on from Darnold, maybe he's the guy to, you know, help our next quarterback, our next young quarterback get on the level with his mechanics and everything. I'm telling you, Saleh has he's put a very solid staff in place. I like a lot of these hires. I like them a lot. So we're going to keep going to the lines, man. We're going to keep going to the lines. Next, I got my guy, Val. Listen. Val is something else, all right? Val is something else right now, all right? Val is a full-blown savage. All right? Val's a savage. Val is a straight savage, people, okay? I'm bringing my guy Val on, okay? I already know that he's going to bring the fire. Val, I want to thank you for calling in. Welcome to the show. What are your thoughts about all gas, no brakes, my friend? Val? Val, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the line, my man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
This is Prada.
Excuse me, Prada. What's going on, my man?
How's it going, Joe?
Oh, hey, this is okay. I already know who it was. I thought it was my man Val. What is going on, Frank? How's everything going with you? What are your thoughts about Robert Saleh being our head coach, my man? How are you feeling about this?
Man, Joe, I had to call in and just give an outside opinion, but I think you guys are doing an amazing job on the foundation, like you said. Foundation is everything in football.
Yeah.
And bringing in Robert Saleh to be the manager of the organization from the ground up is going to give you stability. I know firsthand, if you guys don't know, I'm a 49er fan, and we love Saleh. And there's already definitely all gas, no brakes T-shirts out there.
Listen, again, everybody, I know this dude. He's a wonderful guy, man. You know what I'm saying? We've been friends for years. But tell me, can you break down for these people what all gas, no brakes means, man? Because, you know, we know this because we on the West Coast. But give them your description of what that means. And what do you think the kind of intensity that comes with that when you talk about Saleh?
When it comes to Robert Saleh, all gas, no brakes means you do everything 103%. Nothing you do is half, beep. Everything is 103%. You go hard from the minute you step on the field to how you tie up the laces on your cleats, to how you put your helmet on, to putting your shoulder in the sternum of your opponent and driving his face into the dirt. To, everything about him is intensity. And if you are a Rex Ryan fan, which is some of the funnest Jet eras of my time, you're going to love him. And especially, like you said, and like your caller said, with him delegating, which means that he's going to be infectious to the special team, which I haven't heard anybody talk about. Mm-hmm. He's going to be infectious to the offense, not just the defense. I believe this is going to be the first time since Rex that you guys are going to have a fullback. You know, this is something you can talk about with your other. That's a different intensity. This is going to be a time where you're going to have Mosley played in Baltimore, but you're going to have a defense that lets you have the underneath stuff, which what New England likes to do, but then punish you after you catch the ball every single time. It's a big reason why the NFC West don't allow a lot of running yards, because they're tough. You know, you're going to get linebackers open free hitting you in the face every single time you run the ball. So you have to have a certain type of ball carrier. You either got to be really, really fast, or he has to be really, really big. And it makes the offense in your division change the way they approach their philosophy, you know? Yeah. And having him not call plays on defense or not have to worry about the offense is going to make him only make sure that those idiosyncrasies are done throughout practice on a day-to-day, play-to-play basis, which is going to make the Jets, they're going to make them good really fast.
Now, you talked about, I know you're a Niners fan, so you saw this guy. You know, he put together defenses. Even when there was a lot of injuries, your defense was still one of the best in the league. We have a guy here in Quinnen Williams that we're extremely excited about. How do you think he fits in Saleh's defense, and could you see him thriving this year and really taking a step forward even more, you know, with Saleh out there and playing within that defensive scheme?
Most definitely, especially because Saleh, everybody wants to say that he plays, the cover two, which is basically the Legion of Boom defense. Mm-hmm. He comes from that branch from Dan Quinn, but he plays to the strengths of the defense, which is why he got this head coaching job, because Nick Bosa got hurt this year, and last year, D4 didn't play a lot when we went to the Super Bowl. And he had to figure out that's not working. It's not working. We don't have the safeties. We don't have a May. We don't have a Jamal Adams. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We have Jaquasi Tart and Ward that gets hurt every 3 plays. So we don't have nobody like May, you know, that is like, I dare you to throw deep on us. You know, he's going to be that center fielder, which is going to make that's why I said I think that y'all defense is going to be really good, really fast, because he plays the wide 9. So now he put the wide 9 and he mixed that in with the cover 2. It's like a whole different type of breed that he plays. On top of the fact that if you guys do end up re-signing May, which I hope y'all do, and then which y'all should, and then get somebody who's a solid nickel who can actually not only defend but come down in the run and actually tackle and not get blocked, then it makes him, it's gonna be crazy the amount of stuff you can do with that. And that's why the 49ers were so good, because they can only rush 4, have a nickel package, playing cover 2, but K1's coming off the edge getting a sack fumble, or he's dropping back and, you know, Sherman or Mosley getting picks, you know, and then they coming up and they wrapping up, and like I said, they driving your head into the dirt. And it's like, damn, I don't want to catch 5-yard routes and get slammed every time, you know. Yeah. 5, 6, 7 times down the field. It's frustrating for a diva receiver. So, especially somebody little like Edelman or somebody like they can't handle that over and over again. They're gonna get hurt. So, the combination of the wide 9 and Mosley is gonna thrive behind Quinnen too in that, because then he gets to just fly down and just do what he do. Which we got All-Pro Fred Warner. He's only an All-Pro because Saleh schemed him to be able to fly through, because you have to deal with the edges coming off the wide 9. And I want to point out something. You guys have the bag. So so everybody says, I want to go play with Saleh, just how they said, I want to play with Shanahan. And then we have yesterday, they asked Jerry McKinnon, are you coming back to the Niners? He like, F no. And the media went crazy with that. But really this is these people's livelihood. Right now, Saleh's a new coach, but the Jets have the bag. So free agents, the Jets is looking nice because they have the bag. So
yeah, but we gotta be smart about it though. We gotta be smart with our spending. That's the big thing.
You definitely have to be smart with it, but don't be a fool. Free agents are gonna go or want to push themselves towards them getting more money. So the fact that the Jets have the bag and have all those draft picks, they could be young and good quick. They could be a combination of veteran, proven players and good quick. It's a number of ways you guys can go. And just my humble opinion on the Deshaun Watson thing, you told me earlier when we was talking that none of your linemen are there. So, and the same thing I say to 49er fans. Please stop putting all this stock into draft picks, because if you don't pick the right player, then the draft pick sucks. A la Solomon Thomas, 3rd pick overall. Like, would you give up 4 Solomon Thomases for Deshaun Watson? Yes, you would. Okay? Would you give up 5 Solomon Thomases for Deshaun Watson? Yes, you would. So if you don't pick the correct player that's actually good at that pick means nothing compared to a quarterback that could be going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but hold on. But at the same time,
top 4.
But I hear what you're saying. He is a top quarterback. But at the same time, when you look at the situation of where we're at, if we're going down this road, and this is before I let you go, but if you look at the situation where you're at, if you have to give up 4 first-round picks, which is what I believe that you're going to have to give up for a quarterback like him. He's an elite quarterback. He's top 5. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the game. He's 25. He's in the prime of his career. You're going to have to give up 4 first-round picks, and even more than that. You're going to probably have to give up close to 2 drafts. Because if you listen to analysts, they were saying for Trevor Lawrence to get a shot at him, you'd have to give up 2 to 3 drafts. Well, for Deshaun Watson, who's the elite player in the league, he's what you hope Trevor Lawrence would even turn into. You'd have to give up that and more. The Jets are not in a space to do that. They're not. We don't have enough. You just said it yourself. We talked earlier. Our offensive line outside of Mekhi Becton, not good. You look at the situation on offense as well. Yeah. We don't have the wide receivers either. We don't have a number 1. We don't have a number 2. Our cornerback situation is suspect. We don't have a number 1 corner. We don't have a pass rusher. We have questions. Safety, you just talk about bringing back Marcus May. If he walks, we don't have anybody back there outside of Ashton Davis, who'd be a guy coming back in his 2nd year after getting hurt and missing a lot of time in his 1st year. The Jets we're not in a space to do that. If we had these same picks and this same, we had a little bit of cap space, but we had built properly, then yeah. But the problem is like you said as well, we've poorly invested our draft capital. But this year, after Joe Douglas, bringing in Mekhi Becton, bringing in Denzel Mims, looking how he was able to get Ashton Davis in the 3rd, trading Jamal Adams for 2 first-round picks, that gives you hope that this guy is going to be able to build if we allow him the capital to do so. So he's going to be able to turn us around because he's going to get the right guys. He got Mekhi Becton. That guy's a Pro Bowl in his 1st year. A lot of rookie young tackles don't come in and give you immediate production the way he gave us. He came into the joint and was immediately the best lineman on our line, period. When he would miss time, this line was terrible. Terrible! Terrible! It wasn't even close. It was terrible. So you have to allow him to get that draft capital and continue to move forward and make it better. I understand the allure of Deshaun Watson. I get it. I understand it. But if you're talking about giving up the capital that we're going to have to give up, not right now, not with the Jets, and never mind the fact that, yeah, he's only making, I think, like a 10 or 15 million this year, but the next 2 years, it goes up $35, $40 million. Ask the rest of the league
that's
how
what I
hard
was
it is to
gonna say.
build around a franchise quarterback when you have one. It's extremely tough. No more free agency. All these guys you're talking about signing this year, guys like Joe Thuney, Allen Robinson, $20 million a year kind of guys. Guess what? They're going to be getting paid $20 million a year when Deshaun Watson's getting paid $45 and $30. That weighs heavily. We don't have enough. But I'll give you the last word on it. And I also want to get your thoughts on, before I let you go, your thoughts on Sam Darnold from the outside looking in. How do you assess him?
And I'll answer both of them so I can let you go to your next caller.
Mm-hmm.
And the argument that I make, and I make it the same way when I'm on podcasts talking about 49ers, I believe my assessment of Deshaun Watson is not that he's a franchise quarterback. My assessment of him, watching him in person multiple times, is he's an elite quarterback. And there's a difference. You know, a franchise quarterback would be you trading $20 million the next 2 seasons for Matt Stafford. That would be a franchise quarterback going to the Jets. $20 million. I think he make like $20 million this year and $23 million next year, which is solid. It's solid. That would be somewhere, and then you giving up 2 first-round picks for Stafford, but now you're a playoff team. That would be my equivalent of what you're saying. But when you get an elite quarterback, the offensive line does not have to be the best because that's why you're an elite quarterback.
I disagree.
And
I disagree.
Go
ahead.
Well,
I disagree,
I'm gonna say
though.
something. Houston's line is worse than y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's line is worse than y'all.
No, well,
They
I disagree with that.
They don't have.
Let me tell you why, because we're gonna go at it. Let me tell you why. It's because you know Deshaun like I know Deshaun. Early in his career, was he not getting hurt a lot because he was taking shots? I think he had a punctured lung at one point because he was taking shots. He was getting hit a lot. If he comes here, he's going to get hit a lot. Like that Sam, you look at him, he was running for his life. He's going to get hit a lot. And let me tell you something. He's great. He's phenomenal. He's 29 and 27 with the Texans. They had better rosters in those years than we've ever had, damn near. We've never had a DeAndre Hopkins. We don't have a Will Fuller. We don't have those guys. We don't have a Tunzel. He's 29 and 27 with the Texans. You come over here, we have a worse roster than they have.
Without that line, he was still putting up 35, 40 tubs.
Okay.
And the old Jets team is not the team he will be playing on. He will be playing on this new Jets team.
Okay.
And like I said, a draft pick is only as good as the player you pick. We got George Kittle in the 5th round. So, you know, it's about who you pick and how you pick your team. You can pick good players because and going to Darnold, if everybody is feeling like it's going to take 3, 4 first-rounders, all it takes is one team to put an offer out there and everybody else being scared and not put an offer out there, and then that's what it is. Because I'm going to tell you, if EB don't go to the Texans, it's going to get ugly, and that stock going to go down quick.
Whew.
But, yeah, that's another story for another day. But as far as Donald goes, Donald is that guy. And, of course, Saleh's not going to say that, you know, that's his guy right now, not because he doesn't want to lie to the locker room. It has nothing to do about the locker room. It has to do with the fact that Douglas is going to will and deal, like you would say. So if they get another quarterback of Zach Wilson or Fields, but I think y'all will go with Wilson. I think that Douglas will go with Wilson. If y'all got Wilson and y'all said Wilson is the dude, they still want to have that stock high for a team like the 49ers that might give y'all a second-round pick for Aaron Donald or the Raiders or, you know, one of these other teams that still looking for a young quarterback, you know, to give him a change of scenery. So his stock is still high right now, and you want to keep it that way. And then if you do miss out or you don't want to take Zach Wilson, even though I think y'all are going to take Zach Wilson, but if you don't take Wilson, then you tell then you're going to get the O lineman, and now you're going to have a elite. When I mean elite offensive line with Beckton and Sewell running Rutshaw over the AFC East. then
let me tell you something. I like the sound of that.
He's gonna have all day back there.
Yeah.
And like I said, y'all got the bag. So you said Robinson, y'all saying Robinson. I'm saying you could go cheaper, get you a Corey Davis who balled out this year for Tennessee and is 6'5". It's options out there, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things. I could go all day on what the Jets could do. Yeah. But y'all in a good place, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We are, and I'm going to let you go because I got to get back to the rest of these callers. Listen, man, I want to thank you for calling in. You have a good night, man. When I do shows, I need to hear from you more often, all right?
All right, man.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, that's my friend. He's a Niners fan. I got my guy calling in, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to get back to these lines. A lot of people got a lot of opinions. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639. Call in. There's a lot of people. They want to talk about Deshaun Watson. We're going to talk about Saleh's press conference. How are you feeling? I'm getting to my guy here. I think this is my old Jets fan calling in. It's my old Jets fan calling in here. How are you feeling today, my friend? I want to thank you for calling in. What are your thoughts about the Robert Saleh press conference? How are you feeling about all gas, no brakes, my man?
Really good about it because he looks like the real deal.
Yeah, he absolutely does. He seems like a guy that, again, that gets football, that understands, you know what I'm saying, what it takes to help players get to where they need to go and get better. What are your thoughts about the structure changing, though? Because that was a thing that popped out as well in this press conference, a question that was asked by a reporter. It seems like the Jets, you know what I'm saying, Chris came out and said, listen, we changed our structure. The Saleh's going to report to Joe Douglas, and Joe Douglas is now going to report to, the ownership. How do you feel about that?
Well, absolutely ecstatic. Joe Douglas is part of the Ravens. The coach is part of the San Francisco 49ers. These are two of the most successful franchises over the past, 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to the idea of actually having a line of communication and, being held accountable for the results on the field.
That's what it's all about. What are your thoughts about Greg Knapp coming in as well as a QB coach? He's worked with a lot of great QBs, Vic, Young, Peyton Manning. Is he a guy that you think, if we keep Sam Darnold, is he a guy that you think could help Sam Darnold turn around and really become mechanically solid?
Well, thank God for that, because what can I say? These habits that Sam Darnold had should have been removed in college.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these long throws and, these mistakes that he makes, generally speaking, he's the best player on the field. I've been watching every game, and I've seen him in a 41-7 loss be the only one that scored because of him. So at the bottom line is that having a QB coach, Tom Brady had a QB coach for all his career. So, I'm actually excited about it, and having an individual that's responsible for the QB really makes me, think that we keep this pick and we draft Penny Sewell and line him up with Beckton, or we trade down a few slots, and we'd be able to get him as long as we got before the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay. So what are your thoughts about everyone wanting Deshaun Watson? Are you on that train as well?
Well, how can I not say that I don't like one of the best players in the NFL? What do you want me to say? But this is a team that traded DeAndre Hopkins for a second-round pick and David Johnson, so I would lowball them to death. I would give them the second first round pick, the Seattle pick next year, and Sam Darnold. And if they bite, I win. So look at it this way: they've been incompetent for a good part of 2 decades. So why don't we depend on their incompetence?
Okay, but why would they remain incompetent though? That's the big question for me. Is why would they remain incompetent? Because if you're talking about, and I understand you definitely want to lowball them, you definitely want to try to get away with whatever you can. But again, they are incompetent, but they also know, they got they got O'Brien up out of there. They fired him for making that trade. They also fired him because of the season that they had. They're trying to turn things around. If they're going to let go the best quarterback that they've ever had in their franchise history, don't you think that they're going to want something back? And that leads me to my last question for you: is if the Texans come to you and say, okay, how about this? You give us 5 first rounders and 2 full drafts. Are you doing that?
No, hell no.
Okay.
But the point I'm trying to make is that this is a franchise that has been incompetent since the beginning. So what I'd like to suggest to you is if we offered them the lower half of the 2 draft picks with Seattle and Sam Darnold, and they bit, because guess what? The only other team, who's going to trade for Miami?
Miami could. The Niners could as well, because there's a lot of teams that are prepared to win that have the cap pick or have the capital as well that I think could also get involved too. The Niners could. Like you said, the Dolphins could. There's like some teams that can offer something.
But I'm just making the point is that there's not much out there, and they've poisoned their relationship with Deshaun Watson. So if they're willing to take the lower half of the 2 draft picks and Sam Darnold, I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd do that in a heartbeat. As long as you keep our number 2, I don't care. I mean, look, put it this way. Do I think it would happen? No. But I would tell you that I would be in the mix with them, talking to them. And if we were able to get rid of those last 2 picks, make it the Jamal Adams trade with Sam Darnold. If they took that, fine.
Yeah, I hear you. I just think that's tough. That's tough because the value isn't there. And again, I get they're incompetent, but they're not that dumb. I mean, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand the take, but I don't think they're that dumb. They're not dumb enough to trade this guy away for 2 low first-round picks and nothing else.
Johnson.
Yeah, they did trade DeAndre Hopkins. They fired the guy that did that, though.
They did do what I just told them.
Yeah.
All right. I love you, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Thank you so much. Your beautiful wife. Thank you. And thank you for calling in. You have a good night, all right?
Brother.
All right. Listen, I'm going to keep going to these lines. I understand what people are talking about. I just don't. Lowballing the Houston Texans for the best quarterback that they've ever had in franchise history. Let me explain something to y'all. When they were talking about, the possibility of him being gone, and when he was upset, do you guys understand that they literally were organizing a march outside in Houston, and he had to tell the fan base, please don't do that? Like, everybody understands the impact of him leaving. Everybody. So if you're telling me that you think they're going to give away this guy for just 2 first-round picks, I just find that highly unlikely, especially when we're talking about analysts and everyone else is talking about how much you can get for Trevor Lawrence. Hell, the Jets fan base was talking about how important Trevor Lawrence is and how high of a regard you folks hold him in and how much draft capital we could get if we decide to trade down and give another team a chance to get Trevor Lawrence. But people think that you're going to get Deshaun Watson for 2 first-round picks? That's highly unlikely. I think that's highly unlikely. You're going to give up quite a bit for an elite quarterback in this league. He's literally a top 5 QB. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think we have enough. But I'm going to keep getting to these lines. 518, I'm coming directly to you. You're a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from. And I want to get your thoughts on this New York Jets press conference with Robert Saleh. How are you feeling after him stepping out, talking to the people, and talking about all gas, no brakes? What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. This is Big Green from Saratoga.
What's going on,
Message
Big Green? How you
towards
doing, my man?
I could get through, bud. Good. Well, I like the all gas, no brakes. Sounds like Bridgestone's got a new sponsor. New face.
So what are your thoughts about that mantra?
I really like everything. I love it. I want to see someone run through a wall for this team. I haven't seen it since Rex Ryan. I mean, we had Todd Bowles, who was like a mute. Had Adam Gase, who's a hot dog salesman. But I'm very excited. I could see us going to the playoffs, not this upcoming year, but the year after, but us being close this year.
Okay. What are your thoughts about
very
the
excited
structure,
about the future.
the organizational structure with the Jets changing?
Looks like we're gaining competency.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
There's
I
no
mean,
way should the coach be on the same level as the general manager.
Yeah. I completely agree with you there. I think that this is extremely important for us going forward because you change the structure, you get you make sure that the reporting structure is correct, and then everything moves on the same accord. We've got to make sure that every guy understands what they need to do, where they need to be, and how they need to do business. And again, with that structure changing, that's exactly what it does. You won't have the infighting like we had before with McCagnon and Adam Gase and all this nonsense going on. It was completely ridiculous. And the backstabbing and stuff like that. That was completely ridiculous. But my final question before I let you go is, I want to get your thoughts on Saleh not, necessarily committing to Sam Darnold. There's a lot of fans that look at that and just say, hey, that means that Sam is gone. Do you agree with that?
I'm going to take him at face value. They got to do more research. Even if they had their decision to move on with him, you got to keep his stock value high. So, I mean, look what the Eagles did. I mean, I think Douglas left when they did it. When was it Goff? Or the Eagles traded Bradford for a first-round pick or something like that. Who knows? They keep Sam, and then if somebody else's quarterback goes down, we can get a first-rounder for him. Who knows? Anything can happen.
Yeah. Look, I hear you. Listen, Big Green, you were spitting that fire tonight, man. I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. You have a good night.
You too.
Listen, Big Green calling in. He's got some takes, all right? He's got some takes. I'm going to keep getting these lines, all right? We got a lot of people on the line. I'll get to everybody. Please be patient. Again, 515-602-9639, 515-602-9639. Please call in. The only thing I say, hey, don't call into my show cursing. I'll get you out of here. I'll get you out of here faster than we got Adam Gase out of here. I'll get you out of here faster than we put together that press conference for Saleh. I'll get you out of here faster than we brought in Greg Knapp to better this football team. I'll get you out of here. Get you out of here. Fast, so fast. I'm going to my guy Julio on the lines. Julio, I want to welcome you to the show, my man.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Give me your thoughts about all gas, no brakes, Julio. How are you feeling about that mantra?
Man, I love it. I'm a savage. I love it.
Julio's known savage. Known. Talk about it. Listen, Julio. Listen, man. Listen, you already bringing the fire. You bringing the energy to the table. Give me your thoughts on Sam Darnold at this point, man. They asked Saleh if he was committed to name him the starter. He didn't do it. Do you think Sam Darnold is out of here?
No, I don't think he's out of here at all. Before I told you, hey, and you know me, I sent you an email the other day or whatever about the trades and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I just think they're gonna keep him. They're gonna work with this boy. This boy got talent.
Mm-hmm.
He just had the wrong coach. He went to the wrong system at that time. I don't think we're gonna go after Watson. I think with Joe Douglas' mind, because if you think about how Joe Douglas thinks, he looks for capitals, man. He's about to give all the capital that he can fix the team, you know?
Yeah. No, so, listen, I hear you.
And look, I feel like with that number 2 pick, he's going to get a lot of capital. And I think I think you respond to me and you say, what happens if we still stay at number 2? Then we get that offensive tackle from Oregon.
Okay.
But,
so you want Saleh? Oh, you
tell you what.
want Penei Sewell?
That's if we can't trade down.
Okay.
So if we can get some capital, because remember, I think, and like I say, if we trade that number 2 picks to the Bengals for that number 5 pick, and get that number 5, get the 38 pick, and also the 2022 first pick and the 2022 second round pick, we will be good.
Okay.
And then remember, I think I said it too. We trade that number 5 pick and the 91 pick to the Lions for the pick 7 and pick 41.
Okay.
So like that, we can get some players.
Yeah.
Because then in the first round, we can go after Jamar Chase, that number 1 receiver. Yeah. I love Jamar Chase. I think he will fit perfectly in that Mike LaFleur system. Like what's his name was saying, we need defense. We need corners. We haven't had a true corner since when?
Quite a bit of time, man. Quite a bit of time. But listen, this is my final question for you, because you bring in the fire right now and you're talking a lot. Would you be interested in Deshaun Watson? There's a lot of people talking about him right now. What is the most that you would give up?
What was the most? I think I would give up the Seattle first round pick.
Okay.
I think I will give up next year's first round pick. And then 3rd, 4th, and the 5th of the next year pick.
So only 2 first-round picks, a 3rd, a 4th, and a 5th. Okay. You know, that's the offer that you're bringing to the table. I don't know if you can get it for that, Julio, but I hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. And the reason for that, you got to remember, Watson's got some injuries that he had on his foot, I believe, right? Before. He had surgery on one of them, right?
What, say it again? You were breaking up?
So we don't know. Yeah. So if he get injured, then we stuck with him. Remember, all that money we got to pay him after this shit, you know?
Yeah, listen, you know, I understand your take there, Julio.
I don't think that, and I don't think Joe Douglas would think like that. I think Joe Douglas is more, give me capital, let me build the team the way I want to, where I don't need to pay a lot.
Yeah. Look, I respect it. Listen, Julio, I got to get back to these lines, man. You bringing the fire tonight. I want to thank you for calling in, my man. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you.
All right, you got it.
You have a good one, man. Listen, Julio bringing the fire, man. Julio absolutely was bringing the fire. Let me tell you. Listen, 515-602-9639. I'm going to keep going to these lines. Listen, I'll hear a lot of people talking about draft picks, and now all of a sudden, everybody in the fan base is saying, well, draft picks aren't guaranteed players. Draft picks are lottery picks. You know what's crazy? Is y'all said that, but then this fan base was also the same fan base that had an entire tank for Trevor campaign. Isn't Trevor Lawrence a draft pick? Isn't he a guy that could bust out? As a matter of fact, if you look at the propensity for high first-round pick QBs to bust out, it happens pretty often. That's all I'm saying. So now all of a sudden draft picks don't mean anything. They don't matter. But they mattered a whole hell of a lot, okay? When we won our first game and everybody was going off about how we missed out on Trevor Lawrence. But still and yet, Trevor Lawrence is a draft pick. That's all I'm saying. Give me your takes. Give me your thoughts, because I want to hear from people tonight about this, you know? There's a lot of things going on. So I'm going to go to 661. I'm coming to you, new caller. Give me your name. Give me where you're from. And give me your thoughts on the Robert Saleh press conference. How are you feeling about it? How are you feeling about all gas, no brakes? What are your thoughts about this?
Wow, man, I see how you forgot about me like that.
What's going on? Oh, is this Jason?
Yep.
Yeah, what's going on, Jason? Give me your thoughts, my bad, man. Give me your thoughts. How are you feeling about the Saleh press conference, my man?
Oh, I'm feeling good, man. Especially keep on the gas, man. Dude, I'll be right with them, man. If they need to, I'll be right there. I'll go through the walls if I have to. Just go do it. Just get what has to be done. Just finish strong. I like what he said, dude. It's kind of weird. It was kind of weird to me because I'm not used to this. Because I'm used to Adam Gase or Topple's little, we have to look on tape and all that. So you know what? I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And something that I found interesting is that everyone with the Watson situation, everyone's downplaying second overall pick. This isn't just a when. This isn't a late or mid round. This is a high pick. This pick, if teams will have to trade up to, this is worth like 2.5 first round picks. So this pick alone, especially if we give this to the Texans, they're going from the second. I think they have. I forgot what the next pick is, but from going from that pick to the second pick overall in the NFL draft, that's huge for them.
Yeah. Well, but here's
plus
the deal,
that,
though. Here's the deal with that, though,
but-
Jason. And I hear what you're saying, but I'm going to challenge your point. Is that I understand what you're saying. Look, you give him the second pick in the first round. That's big, yeah. But this is also, we're talking about a generational quarterback. We're talking about an elite quarterback that's 25 in his prime that they're looking to move and trade. I mean, you never really hear about anything like this in the NFL. So, yeah, that's a second pick in the first round.
Right.
But this is a guy that is a generational talent. This is a guy that's done it for multiple years, okay? So that's not going to be enough. That's not enough. You got to give up more. If Trevor Lawrence is worth 2 full drafts, that's what analysts said. Analysts said that. That was all over Twitter. Everybody's talking on the timeline. All the analysts talking about Trevor Lawrence is worth 2 first round, or it's worth 2 full drafts and multiple first rounders to move up and get. Then what is Deshaun Watson? Wouldn't Deshaun Watson be worth more than that? Give me your thoughts, Jason. I'm gonna give you the floor before I let you go.
Yeah, and that's true and all. But you know what? There's one person that has proven this time again. He has always handled this kind of situation. So Joe Douglas, look what he did with Jamal Adams. Everyone thought that we were going to get like a second or third round pick, maybe a fifth. No one expected the haul of picks we got for Jamal Adams. He finessed the Seahawks GM. So you know what? I think he could finesse the Texans GM. You know, I believe in him. I believe he can get it done. And you know what? You see, if he's actually, everyone likes to hype Joe Douglas as he is. Let's see if he could finesse one more GM and get Watson. I like to see if he could do it or not.
Absolutely. Listen, Jason, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. It was phenomenal. I got to get back to these lines. You have a good night, my friend.
You too, man. Go Jets all.
No, salute to you. Go Jets. Let's talk about it. Listen, I'm going to keep getting to these lines. We got quite a bit of callers. Things is heating up. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to my guy. I think this is my guy. Sean. I think Sean is coming up next. You already know how it goes when Sean calls in. He loves to just argue with me. He never wants to agree with me for no reason. I've never done anything to this man. All I've done is respect him. I take his calls. You know what I'm saying? But every time he wants to yell at me, so I yell back. I'm keeping it real. So listen, Sean, welcome to the show, my man. What are your thoughts about the Robert Saleh press conference?
Man, I'm hyped. I am hyped. Let's go, Jets, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts about all gas, no brakes, man? How are you feeling about that mantra?
I like that mindset, and I like that he was very prepared for the interview as well, man. He answered all the questions correctly. He got us all up in the air about Sam Darnold, and I like how he's going. He's getting a lot of these players motivated already, and that's what we need. We need some excitement right now because I didn't even want to watch the Jets. You know that. We didn't even want to watch the Jets at one moment, but now I'm hyped.
Yeah.
I'm hyped, man.
That's absolutely true. One thing that you just said was, it got us all up in the air about the Jets, or all up in the air about Sam Darnold. Because, again, like you said as well, he's non-committal to Sam being the starter next year. When you look at that situation, in your mind, does that mean that Sam is gone? Because I know some fans are saying, hey, that means he's out of here. Do you agree with that?
I'm going both ways with it because that's what they're supposed to do. They're just building up his stock. Either they're going to keep him or they're going to trade him. And that's the best way. That's the only answer you could give him. Just say he's a great player. He's this. We don't know. He's non-committal with anything. You don't know where he's going. So at the end of the day, I can't really give you an answer because you don't know where they're going. And looking at Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh, you got to understand too. Robert Saleh signed a 5-year deal. I don't understand. I can understand why people are talking about Watson, but they're not gonna. We're gonna put ourselves back if we give up all these draft picks. We're not the Buccaneers where we got Tom Brady. You know, we're not Seattle where we got these. I know Watson's a great player, but we're not in that position. We're gonna do it again. We got all the money, and now we're willing to go spend it, and we still got to pay him all that money. We don't have. You know, we don't have an edge. We don't have an edge rusher.
So you don't want to have
Watson.
anything to do with with Deshaun Watson. You don't want to have anything to do with trading him. You're not interested.
I mean, he's a great player, but we're not in that position. Every time we get into a great position, we end up blowing it by giving up draft capital, or we give up our money. Everybody was talking about tank for Trevor, like you just said, tank for Trevor.
Yep.
And now it's like, well, if Watson comes, he's going to change our whole organization. It's not going to happen. We need a team. That's what Robert Saleh was talking about. We need a team. You can't build a team with one great player. It doesn't work like that. You need all 11 people on the field, qualified players that work together. I know Watson's a great player, but why are we going to give up 4 first-round picks? We just got great capital from Jamal Adams. Why are we going to give it up when we could just trust Joe Douglas, get our draft capital, and move on?
Okay. Look, I respect that. This is a call. You're bringing the fire right now. Look, I'm not, you know.
And then another thing.
I'm going to give you your roses. You're bringing the fire right now. I'm going to give you the last word before I let you go, though. My last question for you is, what are your thoughts about Joe Douglas having the final say on the roster decisions? How do you feel about that?
I mean, he's doing a good job. I mean, think about it. You know, some of these players, everybody's saying they were hurt, but also you got to also understand he already had an idea that Adam Gase was going to be out. I honestly thought the same thing. You know, why are you going to bring in all these players, all these talented players, and pay all these crazy amount of players when you know that the organization is really going downhill? Now it's going back uphill. So now that it's going back uphill and players want to play for Robert Saleh, why are you going to – you already know Joe Douglas doesn't like to dish out money. He said it when he first came here, that he wants to build this organization where people respect the Jets. The first thing, as soon as Robert Saleh comes, everybody's jumping, oh, the Jets got a great coach and they got money. So the first thing they're going to do is, oh, everybody wants to go play for the Jets and we're just going to start throwing out money. It doesn't work like that. We don't win championships like that. It's not gonna, and another thing is, you know, it's not going to happen. You know, we'll take Wilson. They got a 5-year deal with Robert Saleh. You build like that. That's why you got a quarterback coach. I know Sam Darnold, but you can't pay Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's not worth $25 million. He's not. And it's unfortunate because he just came into an organization at the wrong time. And that's the thing. Sam Darnold's a qualified quarterback. He just came into this situation at the wrong time, and he just needs to go because we can't pay him $25 million, and he hasn't shown us anything. It's a little glimpses here and there. It just doesn't work out, and it's not because he's not a great player. It's just because the situation that they're in. We're in a rebuilding stage. We're not here to just throw money at everybody. We have to rebuild again. And another person to look out is Trey Lance because with the quarterback on the quarterback from he was on the Eagles. You know,
I know who you're talking about. You know, the guy that was able to step in when Wentz, you know, wasn't necessarily playing well. They brought him in, and he did a really solid job. Listen, I want to thank you for calling in, man. You brought the fire. I got to get back to these lines. So you have a good night, my friend.
And one more thing before you let me go, real quick.
Go ahead.
I don't understand why everybody's saying we need to draft Penei Sewell. Penei Sewell is a left tackle. We already have a right tackle and a left tackle. All we need is Thuney, and we draft another guard. We need a right guard. That's what we need. We don't need Penei Sewell. He's a left tackle. He's not a right tackle. I don't understand why everybody keeps saying we're going to put him at right tackle. He's not a right tackle. He's a left tackle. We already have a left tackle.
Okay.
We just need interior linemen. That's what we need.
Yeah. Look, I hear you. You bringing the fire. I got to get back to these lines. Thank you for calling in. Listen, Sean is bringing the fire. He brought the fire tonight. I like the way that he talked about building his football team. I'm going to keep getting to these lines. I'm going to try to get to everybody tonight. I'm going to my guy, Chris. Chris, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing tonight? What are your thoughts about Robert Saleh and his press conference?
First off, let's go JEGS Jet fans. I'm excited. We have a new coach that's showing just like
Talk about it. He coming in with straight energy. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Put on the full throttle. That's all the way. No breaks here, because we are the green wall. We are the Jets, baby. I'm excited. I'm hyped. I've never been more proud to wear JETS gang green colors out in this public domain, man. Let's go.
Talk about it. Fire. He's bringing nothing but energy. Listen, you bringing the heat right now. You done turned everything up. Give me your thoughts about Sam Darnold right now, my man. They were non-committal to say that he was going to be a starter next year. Do you think that that means that Sam Darnold is gone?
We got to trust the process. In Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh, we trust people. No matter what, we have to have trust. Joe Douglas has shown us that he takes this job seriously like a company should, like a rising company. And Robert Saleh is showing you that this is a culture where we have to show respect and we have to show caringness to each individual player. So I would love it if Sam Darnold does stay. It would be a great way to show that the team had faith in him completely, and they knew that the talent was still there or is still there, and they can rise above all the challenges. However, again, I have to trust the system. We have to know what they're doing is best in future. And if they do decide to pass on Sam, I understand it. My only prayer is if that is the route they go, please send him somewhere better. Please send him somewhere where he does deserve the rise, because we all know it was never his fault from the position he was in. Yeah. It was not on his shoulder there.
Yeah. Listen, I hear you. Listen, I got to get back to these lines, man. You brought the fire. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. You have a good night, all right?
Absolutely, guys. And guys, JETS, let's go.
Let's go. That was nothing but fire. I love my guy, Chris. He brings the energy, man. He brings the absolute energy, folks. All right? He doesn't stop. It's nothing but energy. Fire. If you're a Jets fan, get up. JETS, Jets. Brought nothing but fire, man. Nothing but fire. I love it. I'm going to keep getting to these calls. My next guy, this is another Chris. Another Chris, 857. Another Chris coming onto the line. How are you feeling tonight, my man? Give me your thoughts about this Robert Saleh press conference.
Okay, I got a different opinion about this, Robert. I like the whole press conference. I like the energy. But my first choice was Eric Bieniemy.
Okay.
I think Eric Bieniemy, as far as what he did last week, and you saw what he did with Chad Henne beating the Browns in the playoff game. But I like the press conference. I like the energy. We'll give him a chance to, do what he has to do, But he wasn't my first choice. I still think Eric Bieniemy is the best coach out there to the thing. But let's see what this guy can do. He's better. Anybody's better than Landon Gates.
Okay. Look, and I hear you. Eric B was definitely a guy that I was high on as well. But we got Saleh in the building. Yeah. I'm excited about him. I like what he does. Yeah. I watch the Niners as well, so that's what got me hyped. But I respect what you're talking about. But when you look at this situation, because he is here now, he is hired. Were you surprised when they asked him about him calling the defensive plays? Were you surprised that he said that he was not going to do that, and he was going to make sure, that he had a defensive coordinator, Jeff Albridge, was going to come in and call the plays? Are you shocked that he's not going to be, the guy pulling the trigger on all the defensive calls during games?
Well, I think because you have a game plan, and I think that obviously the game plan goes across the thing. Obviously he'll have his input in the game plan, so he'll be in both parts of calling the plays. But I'm sure that he'll have his handprint on both sides of the ball, about both teams. So I'm excited about see what this guy can do. A lot of the players in the NFL like him. They say he's a good coach. And, this is the things we can give free agents. So I'm excited he can do. About the Deshaun Watson thing.
You go ahead. That was going to be my last question before I let you go. Give me your thoughts quickly on the Deshaun Watson situation.
Than every other fan that you get, I'm different than every other fan that just called up I'm saying you give up whatever you have
Wow.
to get a franchise quarterback. You don't have nothing. I mean, Jeff fans, I mean, how long have you said, okay, let's build a team around this guy. Let's build a team around. We built a very good team around Mark Sanchez, and he still couldn't deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he lost to Ben Roethlisberger. We cannot go over the top. We cannot get there without a franchise quarterback. And Sam Darnold, unfortunately, it's not on his own. It's not on his responsibility. But, you know, if you look at statistically, from a clean pocket, he was one of the worst guys for his completion. Now, that has a lot to do with the receivers and stuff like you said before, you know. But you have to do what you ever have to do to get a franchise quarterback if they're available. But I think that the Texans are going to hire Eric Bieniemy, so I think that Deshaun Watson thing is just going to be like a thing that was talked about. So,
yeah.
But you have to do what you have to do to get a franchise quarterback.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Listen, and I hear you.
Quarterbacks in championships.
Yeah, and listen, I hear what you're saying, but when we're not set up that way, but I do respect your take. I understand that a lot of people hold that take as well, but the type of capital that we have to give up, I think is extremely tough. And even you talking about Sam Darnold, it's like you talk about a clean pocket. He rarely had that. That guy was running for his life every single week. But listen, I respect your take and I respect your call. Right. I want to thank you for calling in, my friend. You have a good night.
One last
thing
before I go.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you talked about is not building a team through free agency.
Yes.
And if you look at the last team that went to the championship, you got Calvin Pace, you got Santonio Holmes,
mm-hmm.
you have Braylon Edwards,
mm-hmm.
you have Bart Scott.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of good people on that team that were free agents.
Yeah, but they were also built. Nick Mangold, DeBrigashaw Ferguson, those guys are up front. Those are all drafted guys. You just talked about Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez wasn't the best regular season quarterback, but if you look at what he did in the playoffs, that guy was pretty damn good in the playoffs. So we had a lot of drafted guys. Yes, we did. Right. We did have quite a bit of free agents. But, there was a lot of guys that were drafted that made big-time impacts on that team. But if you also look at that team, the impact of free agency on that team was, 2 years later, we were terrible because we couldn't maintain that. Because all those contracts and all those guys we had to get rid of ate us up in our cap room. And then that put us into a situation where we were just scrambling. And we couldn't continue to build around Mark Sanchez. And that's when his career went down as well because we couldn't develop him. So that's kind of the situation there. But I gotta continue to move on. I want to thank you for calling in. You have a good night. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, we got to keep going to these lines. You know what I'm saying? Time's getting a little short, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep calling in. People keep calling in. We're going to get to everybody. 732, I'm coming to you. 732. I want to get your thoughts. You're a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts on the Saleh press conference.
Hey, Joe, what's up? This is Niger from New Jersey.
Niger, what's going on, my man? How are you feeling?
I'm good. Just, how's everything?
I'm good, man. How are you feeling about all gas, no brakes? What are your thoughts about that mantra?
I'm excited, actually, well, like I said, I heard you explain the whole mantra with the, all gas.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I get it. I'm excited, and I'm just looking forward to the season. Like, I haven't really been this excited for the season.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Listen,
got me pumped.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it's all about, getting fired up. Listen, my final question for you before I let you go is, what are your thoughts about them being non-committal to Sam Darnold? Do you think that means that he's out of here?
No, I just think it's probably the best thing to do is just to evaluate.
Okay.
Because you can't really just, if it's a big decision, you can't just, just have the decision, today.
Yeah.
You have to, like I said, you have to evaluate.
Yeah.
And you can't just, like I said, give up your, what you're going to do. You can't just, just tell the NFL, this is what I'm going to do. He's going to be with us. Can't just do that. You got me. It's the best thing to do is evaluate and see what you can do from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, Niger, I'm going to let you go because I got to get back to these lines. I want to thank you for calling in, my friend.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Niger calling in with the fire. Man. You know what I'm saying? This guy knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to keep getting to these lines. I'm going to keep going to these lines. 919, I'm coming directly to you. I think this is my guy, Mike from Bayshore. Mike, how are you feeling tonight? Give me your thoughts on the Robert Saleh press conference. How are you feeling about it, my man?
Joe, what's up, man? Love the show, player. Absolutely. Let's talk about the now. The now was the press conference, and the now is Saleh.
Yep.
Okay. This coach has a plan. Okay. For everybody that's listening right now, they want to be enemy. Bieniemy hasn't got a head coaching job in 3 years, and I mean, I wanted him too, but something was scratching my head. This guy, when players talk about this coach, man, and I'm talking when Richard Sherman, people get it twisted, man. Richard Sherman is probably one of the most intelligent football players playing right now.
Yep.
I mean, the guy's fantastic, man. I don't know why people hate on him, man. I absolutely love him. I say to myself, that's the guy I want on my team, because I'm going to tell you right now, he'll be playing for the Jets this upcoming season. But this guy has a plan. I like the fact that he's not calling the defense. He is going to strategize the game.
Okay.
He is going to manage the game. And I'm telling you, man, this is absolute. Jets fans have to be absolutely excited. Words can't even describe, man. The one time I go to bed early was the night he got hired. Forget it. I tell you, man, that was my luck. That was my luck, man.
Look, I hear you.
I woke up.
Mike, I hear you, man.
I said, you gotta be kidding me.
You snooze, you close your eyes, and next thing you know, boom, they go ahead and hire him. But my final question for you is, before I let you go, is, you look at the situation. We've changed our power structure here. Now Saleh reports to Joe Douglas. Joe Douglas reports to the ownership. What are your thoughts about that, man? How do you think that will bode going forward with this franchise? Do you think that's a great move for us?
Absolutely, because it's one line of communication. And what got me nervous is when I heard Chris Johnson speak, and I love that kid from the Post that asked him the first question, are you going to do that structure again? And he paused, and I said, God almighty, God almighty. And then he said, no, we're going to change the structure.
Yeah.
Done. That's it. That's all you had to do.
Yep.
That's all you had to do. And, this is how successful teams work, everybody. This is how successful teams work.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Listen.
This is how championships are built.
Yeah, exactly, Mike. Listen, I got to get back to these lines, my man. I want to thank you for calling in. You have a good night.
Take care.
All right, have a good one. Listen, Mike from Bayshore, he calls in and spits the fire. I'm going to keep getting to these lines. 854-854, I'm coming directly to you. You're looking like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and what are your thoughts about the Robert Saleh press conference? How are you feeling? 854? I'm sorry, 845. 845? All right.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, hello. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Ali from New York.
Ali from New York. How are you feeling tonight? Give me your thoughts about Robert Saleh and his press conference. How are you feeling about it?
I mean, I like him. I haven't felt this good about a coach since, Ryan, since Herm Edwards. This kind of mentality for a coach is long needed. It's kind of what you need to be for the Jets head coach,
Yep. Yeah, no, listen, I absolutely hear you. You got to have that aggressive, that, like you said, all gas, no brakes. You got to make sure that these players buy in and they go to the wall, and you're willing to go to the wall for them as well. So you know what you're talking about, because that's how Rex Ryan was. He was a guy that was able to get players to buy in because of his mentality and his attitude about football. Now, my next question for you is, my final question before I let you go is, what are your thoughts about Sam Darnold so far? They were non-committal to, having him be the starter this upcoming, season. Do you think that means he's gone? Are you a guy that want to move on from Sam Darnold as well?
Listen, I feel like I've been a Jets fan for a long time. My first time watching Jets was Curtis Martin's first season.
Okay.
So I've been a Jets fan for a long time. And I feel like draft capital is important. So, therefore, I wouldn't trade for Deshaun Watson. I would give Sam another chance.
Okay.
In his West Coast offense, because he has how you say, familiarity in the system.
Yeah.
And keep our draft picks because we can build a team through the draft.
Okay.
And giving it away, we're not going to get anywhere. We're not. If we get 2 gems out of the draft, it is worth it. You know.
Okay.
I'd rather of our first round picks these gems than we give it away for one person. You know.
Listen, I respect that. Listen, Ali, I got to get back to these lines, my man. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, and I want you to call in more often, man. I like your takes, and I want to hear from you. All right. So you have a good night.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more thing. I think is we gotta take note that the first Muslim head coach in history.
Yeah.
Like that's special.
Yeah, it is. It is. All right. You have a good night, Ali.
All right. You too. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Listen, Ali calling. We're in the fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines. We're going to keep trying to get as many people on as I can. I think this is my guy, E. E, I'm coming to you. You know what I'm saying? We got to get you on. We got to talk to you. What are your thoughts about Robert Saleh and his press conference? How are you feeling about this, my man?
All gas, no brakes, baby. I'm hyped.
Absolutely. I am too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's fired up. That mantra, what it brings, the mentality, the aggressiveness. So my final question before I let you go, man, is what are your thoughts about Joe Douglas and the power structure changing here? How do you think that will bode for the Jets going forward now that the coach reports to the GM and the GM reports to the owner? What are your thoughts on that, man?
Oh, that's huge, man. It's definitely been an issue with our team for a while. I feel like the biggest issue this past decade has been so bad is a poor reporting structure and a unawareness of positional value, taking nothing but safeties and defensive interior guys.
Yep.
So I think this was big, and it's definitely a step. When I heard Christopher say that, I held my breath, and when he said that we switched it up, I dropped my phone. I couldn't believe it, man. But I was happy to hear about that. That was kind of the biggest takeaway from the press conference. Also, Saleh not calling plays, which I'm not surprised by because I know they're trying to get that more CEO guy. But if anything goes wrong, he definitely still has the capability. He's obviously a phenomenal defensive play caller.
Yeah.
And the whole Sam Darnold stuff. What do you expect, man? They're not going to say, "Oh no, Sam's trash. He's not cool." But him saying whatever is not going to determine what Sam Darnold, whether he's going to be here or not. Sam Darnold's going to determine whether he's not going to be here or not because he played like crap last year. So that's my thoughts on that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, you brought the fire, man. I got to get back to these lines. We got quite a bit of callers, but I want to thank you for calling in, my man. It was good to hear from you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm glad I was able to. I was a bit busy, so I had to make sure I could come, check out the show.
Absolutely. You have a good night, my friend.
Very cool.
Listen, E calling in. We're going to keep getting to these lines. 512-512, I'm coming directly to you. I want you to give me your thoughts about Saleh and this press conference. How are you feeling about all gas, no brakes? What are your thoughts about that mantra?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Give me your name, where you're from. What are your thoughts about it?
My name's Nick. I'm from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
I am hyped right now. Robert Saleh is my new head coach, and I'm just ecstatic because last year when I was watching the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I saw that man. I was like, see, the Jets need something like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact now we have that guy, I am so hyped that Robert Saleh is my new head coach.
Yeah, I'm hyped as well. Just seeing this situation and how we, make sure that we got him in the door, and then Joe Douglas was able to close the deal with him. Him bringing in, him being, the type of guy that he is, being able to have players buy in. That's huge for us going forward. So my next question for you, and my final question before I let you go, is what are your thoughts on him not calling the defensive plays here? Because I know a lot of people were shocked by that. Do you think that Jeff Albridge is, the defensive coordinator that he's bringing in? Do you think he's the right guy, and a fit here for us?
Look, I don't really know much about the defensive coordinator and all him calling the plays, but I want to talk about the quarterback situation with Sam Darnold.
Okay, go ahead. What are your thoughts about Sam? Have you bought in, or are you ready to move on from him?
Look, I love Sam, and I think we should give him another shot because I think we should build around this team and just build around Sam, and I think that Sam actually could be an elite quarterback.
Okay. Look, I respect that. I'm there as well.
That's just my thought.
Yeah, look, I hear you. You know, I'm a guy, you know, I believe in Sam as well. You know, I respect that take. I respect that take. I know a lot of people want to move on from him, but I respect it, especially with Greg Knapp here. You know, that's a guy that can definitely help him and help him moving forward. But listen, I got to get back to the lines, get to the rest of these callers. Listen, Nick, I want to hear from you more, man. You got to call in more, my friend. I want to hear your takes. You know what you're talking about. You're a heck of a Jets fan. You have a good night, all right?
Thank you so much. You too.
You have a good one. Listen, Nick calling in. He knows what he's talking about. Nick calling in with the takes. I got to keep going to these lines. We're getting short on time, people. So, you know, that's why I'm trying to move through. 845-845. I am coming to you. I'm coming directly to you. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts about Sam Darnold right now. They were non-committal to him. Do you think that we move on from him this offseason?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Joe, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah. I think basically, I think you got to play it coy right now. Whether or not you go with him or not, I think it's an organizational decision, and you have to keep his trade value up. So they got to play their cards. I will tell you this: I think that the Jets are finally growing up, and what I mean by that, they finally got a competent GM. It seems like Chris Johnson has learned his lesson that this isn't, you know, a rich kid's toy. This is serious business that somebody about football has to know what they're doing. So I like the change in the organizational structure, and I like the coach that they brought in. Seems like an adult, and he seems like he's comfortable and he's ready for the position, which is a big deal. I mean, you know, think about it. I mean, I've been a Jet fan since the Gastineau days, so this is a real big deal. I will tell you though, if the Jets, I don't think you go hog wild. I don't think you go after Deshaun Watson. He's a great player, but I think by the time we get pieces around him, he'll be over and done, and his career will be over. And that just like Dan Marino should thank the Jets for not drafting him, because they never would have put an offensive line around him. With his knees, he never would have been anything.
Absolutely.
If the Jets this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I hear your takes. What's your name? What's your name again, and where you're from?
Mike.
Yeah, listen, Mike. Listen, I hear your takes and I hear what you're talking about. But my final question for you is, and you brought up a lot of great stuff, a lot of great points. You know, just about Sam Darnold and Joe Douglas. But what are your thoughts about our head coach Robert Saleh? What are your thoughts about him not calling the defensive plays?
I think listen. You got to be like I hate to use this, but you got to be like Parcells. You got to be able to coach the overall coach. Yeah. And you got to coach the strength of the players. That's one subtle thing that he did. A lot of people didn't pick up. You know, you had Herm Edwards come in. We got to put our new system in. We got this guy coming in. Everyone wants to come in and put in a new system. No, you play and you coach the players you have to their strengths. And I think he sounds like he's going to take that approach. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Mike, I got to get back to these lines. I apologize. You know, we're getting a little bit later on the show, but you got to call in again, my friend. I love hearing from you. You know what I'm saying? You got some great takes. So I want you to have a good night, all right?
You too. Stay well. Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Listen, Mike calling in. You know what I'm saying? I love hearing it. We're going to get to the last caller of the night, 954. I'm coming to you. I want you to give me your name, where you're from, and I want to give me your thoughts really quickly. Give me your thoughts about Robert Saleh being the new Jets head coach and his new introductory press conference. How are you feeling about all gas, no brakes, man?
Yes, he saved the best for last. It's Fat Tony from Memphis.
Let me tell you, Fat Tony calling in. Go ahead.
I'm talking about. Hey, let me tell you something. I liked what he said. Hey, this is not a business. This is about creating personal relationships and maximizing these players to their best potential so they can make the most amount of money in this league. Who wouldn't want to play for a guy like that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he said the right things today. And let me tell you something about the draft. Okay? Everybody's saying Joe Douglas is good in the draft. Think about it. We drafted Mekhi Becton, good pick. Tristan Wirfs went behind him. He almost made the Pro Bowl this year. We had the pick. We traded with Seattle. We traded back. Guess who went next? Chase Claypool. So, I mean, the draft is the draft. It's a crapshoot. So, Ashton Davis, what has he done? I think we're going to start seeing what free agents we bring in here. If we start bringing in some big names, why not trade these picks and get Deshaun Watson? If you're putting your foot on the gas, like he said, let's do it now. Or are we in the point where we're slowly going to do this through the draft and rebuild for the next couple of years?
Okay.
And you're going to start seeing it in free agent. I think if we start bringing in some big hitters in free agency and we think we can win now, dude, I'm telling you, we don't know what is going to happen. Joe Douglas has a monster decision ahead of him, multiple decisions.
Yeah.
And, man, but I think the other caller said, too, Penei Sewell is the pick at number 2. So if we don't get him, we got to trade down. You know, that's the number 2 pick this year. There's no Nick Bosa. There's no one else. I mean, he is the number 2 pick.
All right, Tony, listen, you're bringing the fire. Go ahead. I'll give you a couple more seconds.
Bringing the fire.
Oh yeah, listen, Tony, you're absolutely bringing the fire, my man. Everything that you talked about, Penei Sewell. I know a lot of people that are extremely high on him as well, bringing him in. You know, having our offensive line be dominant once again. You know, I hear what you're talking about Watson. I'm not necessarily, you know, depending on how many picks you're giving up, I think we'd have to give up too much. So I'm out on that. But I know what you're talking about. You want to put the foot on the gas, and you want to make sure that this franchise gets better and turned around immediately. I hear you, Tony. But listen, I got to get out of here. So I got to let you go, my friend. All right. You have a good night. And thanks for calling in. Listen, Tony calling in, everybody. Listen, I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. You folks are phenomenal. I got to close out this show. So look, I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. That's 3 zeros. You know, go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You know, troll me, no issues. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge, and I'll have my Darnold jersey on. You can also follow my show's Twitter page at The Long Beach Joe Show. I'm also on YouTube as well at Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets, okay? You go there. My live stream will be there. Please subscribe, turn on your notifications, and, you know, enjoy yourselves over there, because if you want to troll me in the comments, I'll go back and forth with you there as well. And as always, folks, when you see me in person, okay, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. I want to thank everyone again for calling in. You folks are the absolute best. You folks have a good one. Peace. 1 second, folks. Whew, that was a fire show. That was a fire show. I want to thank everybody for calling in. Jeez. We had quite a bit of callers. Whew. Man, listen, I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. Everybody. If you hit exclamation point links in the chat, okay, exclamation point links, that brings up my link tree. Got to get out of here because my schedule is crazy, so I got to be going. But everyone, link tree, all of my YouTube is there. All of my social media is there. Love going back and forth with everybody. Please follow me across all my social media platforms. Also, I'm on iTunes as well, so please go to iTunes. Leave me some ratings, please. You know what I'm saying? Give me some 5-star ratings. Give me your feedback about the programs as well. We'll continue this again going throughout the off season. Please subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up my streams. You know what I'm saying? Please thumbs up my streams. You know, I love going back and forth again with everybody. So if you're in the comments, you know, I'm going to come right back to you. And I love discussing football. So I'm going to keep this going as well. We're going to add stuff too. For those of you, if this is your first time catching me or watching me, I'm also game on this channel as well from time to time too. So we play games, Madden, Street Fighter, all kind of things, and we just kick back and have a great time. So that is going to come back as well. You know, once my schedule gets going. But again, I want to thank everybody for calling in tonight. You folks are the absolute greatest. Again, follow me across my social media. I announce when I do shows well ahead of time. You'll be able to call in early. I want to thank all of the callers, all of them, every last one. Okay, we had quite a bit of callers. I didn't miss anyone. I don't think anybody dropped off. So again, I want to thank you folks again for calling in and chilling with me. Please, again, thumbs up my videos, subscribe, turn on your notifications. And I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, folks. You folks have a great one. I want to thank everybody in the chat, all the savages. Let me get to the name of it. Val Outlaw. Yo, Revolution. Revolution says, love the channel, Joe. Yo, salute to you, Revolution. Thank you so much, man. You're the absolute greatest. My guy, Val, NY Jets, Vegas 702, Sean Bennett, you know, just everybody in the chat, man. Edward, You know what I'm saying? Who else is up in here? Who else is up in here, man? Who else is up in here? Charles Florio, salute to you. Charles says, this is awesome. Keep it up, man. We love it. Thank you so much, Charles, man. SG, salute to you as well, man. Problem Max 99, salute to you as well. Kevin Ramos, salute to you as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Real David, salute to you. Just everybody, man. Everybody that was in the chat. Neil, salute to you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that was up in here talking, everybody, all the savages, Sir Tunes, excuse me. Gangrene David, salute to you. Good to see you in here. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Prestige Shotgun, salute to you, man. Good to see you in here as well, Shogun. It's always good to see you. Salute to everybody. How about them Jets? Everybody, man. Salute to everybody that came through tonight. You folks, I'm telling you, y'all the absolute best and the greatest, and we're going to keep this going, like I said, as well. You know what I'm saying? I love doing this, and we definitely going to play some games as well coming up soon. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, subscribe. Please like the videos, like my streams, share my streams as well, please, if you can. You know what I'm saying? On your social media, with, your friends and family. I love going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So salute to them. But again, thank everybody for watching. You folks are the greatest. I got to get out of here. You folks have a good one. Peace.